Emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman is discussing his famous impulse control test at a San Francisco lecture and has the entire audience attention. Goleman, a psychologist and science writer, is the author of the bestseller Emotional Intelligence, a fascinating book about recent discoveries in brain research that prove emotional stability is more important than IQ in determining an individual's success in life. One of the highlights of the book, Roman explains to his audience of foundation leaders, educators, and grant donors is a test administered 30 years ago that Roman calls the Marshmallow Challenge. In this experiment, 4-year-olds, the children were individually called into a room at Stanford University during the 1960s. There, a kind man gave a marshmallow to each of them and said they could eat the marshmallow right away. I waited for him to come back from an errand, at which point they would get 2 marshmallows. Roman gets everyone laughing as he describes watching a film of the preschooler while they wait for the nice man to come back. Some of them covered their eyes or rested their heads on their arms so they wouldn't have to look at the marshmallow, or play games or shell to keep their thoughts off the single marshmallows. Of the single marshmallow, and they waited for the promised double prize. About a third of the group simply watched the man leave and ate the marshmallow within seconds. What is surprising about this test, claims government, is diagnostic power. A dozen years later, the same children were tracked down as adolescents and tested again. The emotional and social difference between the marshmallow preschoolers and their gratification delaying peers was dramatic. Government says the ones who had resisted eating the marshmallow were clearly more socially competent than the others. They were less likely to go to freeze or regress under stress or become rattled and disorganized when pressed. They embraced challenges and pursued them instead of giving up. Even in the face of difficulties, they were self-reliant and confident, trustworthy, and dependable. The third also who grasped the marshmallow were more likely to be seen as shying away from social context, to be stubborn and indecisive, to be easily upset by frustrations, to think of themselves as unworthy, to become immobilized by stress, to be mistrustful, mistrustful or prone to jealousy, or to overreact to certain situations with a sharp temper.